Hello, hello. Happy Monday, lovers. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. So, today I want to share with you my opinion, and obviously, it's my personal opinion based on my experiences and all this stuff. But I want to talk to you about this trendy topic that's going on out there. As you probably know, I live in Florida, and 2026 is actually the government, state government elections. So I'm going to share with you a video that I want us to watch. Probably a lot of people, because there's been actually going a lot of conversation around it this week, and this is about this candidate that he has this crazy idea, and this is why he's so controversial. So we're gonna watch the video, and I'm gonna tell you my opinion. Okay, let's watch.
And so if I'm governor of Florida, if I'm elected on August 18th, 2026, as the Republican candidate to succeed Ron DeSantis, we're passing a 50% tax on all OnlyFans income. And guess what? For Sophie Rain, who is a proud resident of Florida, that means she's going to have to pay $42 million. $42 million to the state of Florida, which I'm going to use for two purposes. We're going to increase public school teacher pay, and we're going to improve school lunches, something that Michelle Obama promised and never got around to.
Okay, let me tell you something, that it's my opinion, and this is how I feel, and I'm going to repeat this until the day I die. And actually, can somebody put it on my stone, when I die, when I'm dead? Sex is not a sin. Sexo no es un pecado. Okay? Starting from there. Why we were told that it was a sin? Okay, let me explain you how I see it, because I'm not religious. I follow Jesus and I follow his teachings. Okay, but let's go back to the book of Genesis. All right, shall we? So the way that I see this is very simple. When I was a kid, like, I was raised Christian, but I was skeptical about these teachings, because inside of me was like, how can you possible really believe that a serpent can talk to you and tell you what to do and what not? Okay, so now that I'm an adult, I'm very mature. Now let me explain you how I see the book of Genesis. Here's the thing. So Adam and Eve were sent to, the paradise. God is the real estate, and he's showing him, he's giving the tour. Okay, so here is, the farm, and here is the lab where you can plant, like, can do remedies. This is that. But wait, here is a department, high voltage, that you cannot touch, okay? Because you're not ready yet. Okay, so Adam and Eve are like, okay, cool. Yeah, fine. Well, guess what? There was one being that wasn't happy with God. So he was like, because, I don't believe it. We're alone in this world. I do believe in UFOs. I saw them. So anyway, so yeah, this guy, it could have been a reptilian. You never know. So this guy is like, what? You're not supposed to touch this? Oh, no, 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 no. I think you gotta run. I think actually that is the most important place, the apartment that you have to, the door you have to open. So, what was the sin at the time? Was disobedience. Okay? If I'm telling you that you cannot do this and you go ahead and do it, that is the sin. Do you understand? So, anyway. Okay, so we are going to talk about faith. I believe in love. I believe in hate. I believe in good. I believe in evil. But coming back to the video. So this guy is, his proposal is, oh, I'm gonna apply the sin tax, 50% of what you own. Well, first of all, if you are trying to gain votes, this is not the right way, sweetie. I mean, this is not the smartest way, because what you want as a government is to, first of all, I will be more concerned as a voter, infrastructure, corruption, transportation. Florida is collapsing, and I care about those things because I'm the one has to go and stuck in traffic to do whatever, and now I'm losing my time. Like this guy is, I don't know, he's giving me like the my New York Mandani's kind of like socialist vibes, to be honest. And to be honest with you, you got to be careful. You got to be really like, I understand that people don't care about politics, and I get it, but you need to know who is taking your who's driving your car, like who's manage your house. You need to be make sure that who's in charge, because if that people makes decisions for you that you're not agree, you're screwed, because oh, you didn't know, so uh, anyway, I mean, when it comes to faith, when it comes to behavior, what I learned, and this is what don't people don't get sometimes, because like I get highly criticized, because there's like, how can you call yourself Christian if you are like being naked and prostitute? Well, you know what? Let me give you another fact that I will say that by ideology, religion, politics. I mean, like all these things are being told. I mean, they've been trying to put it in our minds. Let me tell you one thing, and I think is this is valid, and I want anyone, if this, if it's not agree with me, please let me know. Did you know that actually Mary Magdalene, was not a prostitute? She wasn't. That was called blackmail back in those days. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Mary was the only, she was, Jesus' partner, and she was, obviously there with him, and among with the, disciples. But remember, disciples they were not believe that Jesus was the Son of God. Mary Magdalene was the only one who recognizes him. They thought that he was a good prophet, and yeah, good, right? But because she was the only one acknowledged him as the Son of God, basically they're like, well, I mean, obviously, we don't think that she's a good, a good ally for us, so let's take him, like some credit, so people don't believe in her. Same thing as Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was set up because he was against the machine, he was against the industry, because it was evil. So ask yourself, what's evil and what's not? Sexuality is a nature function of your body. Same as you have your stomach, and it makes sounds when you're hungry. Same as your mind when it goes crazy. Is an absolutely most beautiful organ that we have, because with them we create love, we create life. So my conclusion here is that no matter what you think, if you think marriage is good, go for it. If you if the way you love, I mean, not necessarily it has to be marriage, go for it. But at the end of the day, sexuality is not a sin. To me personally, if you steal, it's a sin. If you lie, it's a sin. If you're betrayed, it's a sin. If you're corrupted, if you're murdered, those are sins that actually I'm very concerned about. And again, as a voter, for a politician to come and convince me that he's the best choice, well, he has to debate what is moral for him and what's moral for me. Because we're not going to be agree all the time, and I get it. But I want to be, like, I'd rather to be honest. I'd rather to be transparent. I just like, I make fun of people that criticize me on Instagram, because every time, that I made a comment about the topic, obviously the people goes and see my profile, and they're like, how can you talk about morality when you are this and this and that? I was like, dude, I'm the happiest person in the world because I make my own decisions based on the morality of my values. Okay? So at the end of the day, you are free to choose. You are free to do, as long as you don't hurt, as long as you're not lying or, like being disrespectful. Because for me, Jesus is not a religion, it's a style, it's a lifestyle. I learned to be happy by validate my own thoughts. I don't need people's validation. And I don't mind to be in front of the camera doing exactly what everybody's doing. I just laugh about the double moral and the hypocrisy of some people because they're saying, "Oh yeah, you should ban it at all." Well, let me tell you something. OnlyFans is not necessarily for pornography. I mean, there's actually a platform that allows that to content creators to be, to express their the way that they love other people. And also it's a platform that has a lot of information. So taxing 50%, to be honest, I mean, like, I will be scared to vote for you. So no. I mean, I think that as an adult and me personally living in this country, I we have to be very careful the people we elect because again, the decision that we made, we get the results. So, but yeah, yeah, that's how I feel, and I just want you to understand that love is love. If you are your lover, your hater, okay, well, choose your team. But we need to, like open it up our minds and think outside the box and question things that we've been told. That's what Jesus came. Jesus, it's a light. It comes to you to enlighten you, to say, hey, wait a minute. I always thought that this was good, but I do not agree with that. How about my opinion? How about my freedom? My conclusion, if you want to be happy, be free. Don't let people choose for you. Don't people make decisions for you when you can, when you're the one making decisions for yourself. That's it. And shout out to my friend, beautiful Susan. I love you, Susan. She gave me this for Christmas. So just in case, no, she's not in the industry, but Susan is the best pet groomer in the universe. And if you live in North Miami, Hallandale, Aventura area here in Florida, Pembroke, yeah, let me know. I'm gonna drop her phone number. She's amazing with. She will be amazing with your cat and dog. So, yeah, shout out to her. And again, just a quick reminder: if you are interested in use the products that I've been using for your skin, for your teeth, my link is in the bio. Okay, so also pay attention to the reel that we are going to watch after this because it explains a lot, and it really kind of like reveals all the myths and all the stuff that we've been told and explain it in a very clear way. So, thank you for taking the time and listen to me. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.
Of Adam and Eve was never about two humans in a garden. It was never about an apple, a talking snake, or disobedience. That's the fairy tale. Here's the truth. Adam and Eve were not human. They were consciousness split in two, masculine and feminine polarities of source, light beings, fully aware, no ego, no fear, no body. They existed in unity consciousness, pure oneness, no judgment, no shame, no illusion. But oneness has a limit. You can't evolve if everything is the same. You can't choose if there's nothing to choose between. So the soul said, let me experience contrast. Let me descend. Let me forget. Enter the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Not a literal tree, a symbol of duality activation. To eat the fruit was to say, I'm ready to experience all of it. Light, dark, pain, pleasure. Let me walk through the illusion so I can return with wisdom. The serpent, not the devil. It was Kundalini, DNA. the coded awakening buried deep inside you. Religion demonized the snake because it threatened control. Because once you activate that inner knowing, you don't need a gatekeeper between you and God. So when Eve ate the fruit, she didn't doom the world, she awakened it. She saw herself, she became aware, ego entered, separation began. And the fall? It wasn't punishment, it was a dimensional descent. Spirit entered form, consciousness became flesh, and earth became the classroom for remembering. That's why you forget when you're born. Because if you remembered everything, you wouldn't grow. You wouldn't search. You wouldn't transform. And that's the whole point. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to experience, to rise, to return. Not because you were broken, but because you were chosen. No more fairy tales, just the truth, and now you remember.